LeBron has expressed that he's willing to take a big pay cut if it means the Lakers can sign one of James Harden, Jonas Valančiūnas, and Klay Thompson. And looking at those three players and how their profile fits the team, it's very easy to say, do not sign James Harden. It is not worth it. Right now, Harden would just add to the stagnant, idle offense the Lakers are trying to get out of. You have Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, and LeBron James, who are all primary ball handlers. They all hold the ball for about 14 to 16 seconds of the shot clock, and then they try and make a move with the last 8 seconds left. Adding James Harden to that mix will just make it more idle, another dominant ball handler on the team. And his style of offense just wouldn't fit the Lakers. Does it help with the Clippers? Yes, because they need a ball handler. But in the Lakers, it would not float well. And you automatically just cross James Harden off the list. He's not a good mix. He's not a good player, not a good fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. The other two players now that the Lakers are looking at are Klay Thompson and Jonas Valančiūnas. Both players have very compelling points and reasons as to why they're the right fit and the right player for the Lakers to add. Starting off with Jonas Valančiūnas, what does he bring to the Lakers that they were missing for all of last year? Rebounding help. You look at the stats, you look at the numbers. The Lakers had the third lowest rebound total per game in the entire NBA. And they were also dead last with 8.1 offensive rebounds per game in all of NBA. Yeah, scoring and getting buckets is important, but having opportunities is also extremely important. By adding Valančiūnas, if you took him from last season and plopped his stats right now on the Lakers team last year, he would rank second on the team with rebounds at 8.8 and second on the team in offensive rebounds with 2.2 per game. Jonas would allow for there to be more opportunities to shoot the ball for the Lakers on offense and also take away opportunities from the opposing team as he would get defensive rebounds, allowing these other teams not to get 2 to 3 or 4 possessions in what should be a one possession half court offense. When you look at where is Jonas Valančiūnas going to slide in on this team, well, you would make Jonas Valančiūnas a 5, remove Rui from the starting lineup, have Reeves be your 2, D'Lo at your 1, LeBron at your 3, and AD at your 4. This is also a very ideal situation for Anthony Davis. The past couple of years, he's made it well known organizationally inside that he doesn't want to play the 5 anymore. He wants to be a 4. He wants to be a power forward. And is he willing to play the 5? Yes. Is he going to complain about the 5? No. But AD would be a lot more happy being able to play that 4th option. And he also has the shooting ability, really developed his three-point shot and his mid-range to play a 4 and be that stretch 4 option, allowing Jonas Valančiūnas to, again, be a nice force inside from rebounding perspective, but also from a scoring perspective. The last thing you can point at is, well, Jonas Valančiūnas wasn't a great defender. Well, you don't need that when you have Anthony Davis, who can make up for anyone's blemish defensively. He is an incredible defender, makes consistent all-NBA defensive teams. He's a great force inside, so he can make up for that blemish of Valančiūnas' defense as long as Jonas is getting rebounds, which he has proven year in and year out in his entire career that he can. Now, let's look at Klay Thompson, what he brings to the table. A lot of people mention he's not old Klay. He's not what he used to be. And honestly, he's not. He's not what he was in his prime. He hasn't been the same Klay that he was post-injury. But it doesn't mean that he's a bad player by any means. The past 2 seasons, he's averaged 20 points per game. This past season, he shot 38% from behind the arc, shooting 10 attempts. It's a pretty decent clip rate. That's pretty good. That's really good offensively when you're shooting that many threes per game. The issue with Klay is his consistency. There's games where he's going 8 for 12, and then there's games where he's going 2 for 13. I'm not making these numbers up. Check the game logs. It's all there. And that's the issue with Klay, is the inconsistency. And it's a question of, can you get that inconsistency to go away? Can you make him a consistent 3 to 4 mates for every 9 attempts? Can that be a reality? And that's one of those things where time will tell. You look at the Lakers and you look at the numbers, and the numbers tell you they don't need another three-point shooter. They had the 8th highest three-point percentage in the NBA last season. But the issue is they attempted the least amount of threes because they weren't that good. They weren't up to that percent that it's shown, right? They weren't attempting that many threes because they didn't have anyone that was uberly confident with a three-point shooting. And also that number is drastically inflated because you have guys that go out there and every 5 games they just explode and they go 10 for 11, for example, right? And that number inflates itself. But it's not a truthful number of what you see during the game. On top of that, there's also a lot of threes that are falling when the game's out of reach. There might be 5 to 7 minutes left in the game, and the Lakers are down 20 points. So people are making threes. Max Christie's coming in and getting a bucket. D'Lo's making a late three, but they're meaningless shots. They're meaningless points because the game's out of reach at that point, and there's no coming back. So in reality, their three-point shooting is not as good as indicated. So if you bring in Klay Thompson, you just add another three-point shooter to the mix that could potentially allow for this team to take a step up because they'll have dudes that could shoot. So instead of having LeBron, Austin Reeves, and D'Lo, you have LeBron, Reeves, D'Lo, potentially Cam Reddish, Dalton Connect, and Klay Thompson. That's 6 potential threats now from behind the arc. Teron Prince, a decent three-point shooter as well. That's a lot of threats now of saying, hey, let's go out there and make some threes. That's the modern NBA. Let's go do it. So the case for Valančiūnas is you bring in a solid rebounder. You bring in somebody that can really boost your boards, allow you to get more shot opportunities, and also take away chances from the other team. The case for Klay Thompson is, hey, we can make him more consistent. We can work him in there with a rotation, and he's going to have wide open looks because LeBron's getting all the attention. AD's getting all the attention. Klay's going to be open, and he can make an open three. We know we can, and we can return him to what he used to be. I mean, for the longest of time, we've heard that Klay's been that guy. He'd be the perfect pairing for LeBron. So now is a chance for that to potentially happen. In a perfect scenario, in an ideal world, this is what the Los Angeles Lakers would do. They would sign Klay Thompson to the mid-level exception. They bring LeBron back, and then they would do a trade, sending Rui Hachimura, and then you have to mix in somebody with a low salary like a Jackson Hayes. You make that trade, and you acquire Clint Capella. So you get rebounding help, you get three-point shooting, and you call it a great day. The smart decision is saying, let's go between those guys, pick one of them, no trades on the table. Let's go sign Valančiūnas, right? We need rebounding help. Let's get it. AD will be happy playing the 4. We have a force inside. Rui can come off the bench, provide some physicality. What's the decision that should be made? The decision that should be made when it comes to just purely no trades, nothing is on the table. It's just signing one of those 3 guys. You have to sign Klay Thompson. You have to do it. The 2 teams that made it to the finals last year were the teams that shot the most threes and the teams that made the most threes, the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. In the modern NBA, you need three-point shooting. You have a defensive guy in AD, and you can hope that there's a lot more effort on the table now to get more rebounds, especially if the games are closer, players can exude more effort. And so if you bring Klay Thompson to the mix and he can make threes on a more consistent basis, sky's the limit for this team, just like it would be for any team. You look at the Pacers. Why were they so good? Why did they make it to the conference finals? Because they can make threes. You look at the Timberwolves. They can make threes. Mavs, Celtics, I already said it. They made threes. So what is today's NBA? You need to have a 1-2 punch. You need three-point shooting. The Lakers have a 1-2 punch. You bring Klay in, and that can answer their question of three-point shooting. Let me know your thoughts on what the Lakers should do.